I know you can't stop that.
Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins, and I put that on my name.
Welcome to ZG Weekly, special Memorial Day weekend episode here, Kevin.
Really excited about the weekend, Steve. And before we get into that, as always, we shout out a couple programs who are busy on social media. I know you're familiar with the Running Man Challenge, Steve.
Of course. There's a lot of fun in the circuit playing off that, no doubt.
And we had, I think we had a champ photo a couple weeks back of the team in PA doing it.
Yep.
Here our Twitter post is from the Middlesex Matic and Larry Hurley.
Coach Hurley, always up to something. I love it. We had Mike on the show back in the fall. It's great to see Coach Hurley get involved with his girls.
Definitely.
Oh, that team's pretty good.
Absolutely. And then on the Instagram front, we have the Nation, who obviously was having a little fun with the Running Man.
Good for that. Looks like they're having a lot of fun.
Congratulations, guys.
Gonna stand up, here he comes. Tell me what it takes to be number one.
Well, Kevin, as we're kind of turning the corner to the home stretch for the ZG Finals, girls next week, boys the week after, the granddad of them all.
Yep.
I want to talk about here on Coach's Corner, really a point of emphasis that our official school will be enforcing come finals.
And I think, Steve, it's important. We always talk about development as you're going up through the, through the ranks. With our coaches, as you get to the high school level with you guys, obviously the college level, one coach is standing up. One coach is communicating what's going on. One coach is interacting with the referees. And I think at this age group, it's important for us to make that a point of emphasis to prepare coaches for what is to come.
Well, for a player, too, you can't be listening to 2, 3, 4, one voice, one person standing. Right. At finals, there'll be only one credentialed coach, right. And that's the only coach who'll be allowed to stand.
Who could stand.
Yep.
And I think it's a point of emphasis that'll be good for the gameplay, be good for the kids, everyone involved.
It's something I see us taking from finals and really carrying on to our fall circuit, pat to the belt in the fall.
I woke up, thank God I woke up.
Kevin, what a busy week on the circuit as we kind of take one of our last legs on several different regions, last chance to qualify for finals.
It was unbelievable, Steve, to see all the different hashtags.
That's you.
Flying through Twitter, though, I mean, regionally, whether it was ZGPA, ZGVA, ZGVT, it was really exciting.
No doubt, and it was a lot of fun going into some new areas, new facilities. Yeah. What a place! Competitive edge out of PA.
Yeah, and it's a good way to kick off our recap, Steve. A ton of action down in
East
PA.
Coast Power. That program really dominated down in PA. And how about that truck? It was over at Bucksmont?
Yeah, the T-Mobile had a presence out there that was causing a carnival-like atmosphere, which was great. And then also it was cool to see programs coming down from New York. I know Long Island Lightning came down with Coach Haber.
Coach Garfinkel walked into his hotel Friday. First person he sees, not an exaggeration, Coach Haber, the ZG Battle for the Belt champ shirt on.
Is that right?
So pretty cool. And it's great to see myself waking up Monday morning, 4 different emails saying, hey, we want more in the Philadelphia area, so
right.
Don't worry, we're going to get it.
No question. And then, Steve, moving down to Virginia with the regional championships, I know there's a ton of action down there.
Everyone talks about Ty White and his loaded boys program. How about those girls, Kevin?
Yep.
Two championships.
2 championships at the high school level. And then, you look at the boys' side, Steve, there's so many good programs that we're getting multiple championships.
And the up-and-coming young teams, like those Spotsylvania Spiders, who came down to finals a couple years ago, and Coach Alston does a great job.
No question. Steve, moving into the Tri-State, we were obviously over at the House of Sports, which we've been at every weekend. Which was great. And then over in Jersey, we had a state championship in Jersey.
Yeah, it was great. Obviously on one side of the Hudson, the House of Sport was rocking. I think the level of competition was high. It's funny, Loaded came up to that too.
Right.
Then over in New Jersey, the largest state tournament I think Jersey's had, almost 180 teams.
Yep.
And, of course, winning Wolfpack involved Championship Sunday. Asphalt Green, though, was really the story of the tournament. Multiple championships. Didn't see that one coming. So their team, if you see them in your finals bracket in a couple of weeks, I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah, I think it was Asphalt Green. We had Game 7 Sharks. The New Jersey Players got a title.
Yeah. Don't they always win a title?
Yeah, they do. But it was good to see that action in Jersey on the girls' side as well.
Yeah, the girls was, that field a couple weeks before. I said, wow, it's going to be a 1 or 2 trick pony. All of a sudden, some debt came in late. It was great to see.
And besides being in Connecticut, Steve, moving up into New England, a lot going on in New England.
Let's talk north, the mountains.
No question.
St. Michael's is a great facility partner of ours. Coach Meyer there has built a great program. It's a great facility. And also, Kevin, you might not know this, there's a zero-gravity restaurant only a couple miles.
I did not know that.
So our great site director, Chris Bars, came down. I walked in my office Monday morning. Zero-gravity pub glasses waiting for him. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
And you talk about that tournament, really competitive. Kind of like an interesting, a ravenous, kind of like Keene over St. Johnsbury, a ravenous following. And congratulations to Vermont Elite. Wow.
Yep.
3 championships are coming out in the finals. It was great to see them. The Granite State Rockettes, I still think near and dear to my heart, one of the best girls programs out in New England.
Right.
They took care of business. And then local, right around the corner, Coach Burfoot and his North Shore Bobcats. I don't know, Jimmy probably wanted to play some great golf course in Vermont. He came down there, and his program got it done on both sides of the genders.
And then moving down, Steve, we had
The Ward, the Florida, the Rim, and Dare was endured. 2 great facilities. There's a little stretch on 95 connecting the 2.
Yep.
And Coach Coates on his girls took home a title. Always great to see Chris in the Championship Sunday photo.
Multiple NH Spartans.
And NH Spartans, Coach Campbell as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, multiple C4.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Denon, what he's built at Empire National is really amazing.
No question.
It's both of his 5th grade teams in championship action, and looking forward to see what they do at Super 16 this week.
And then Steve moving down into Mass. Obviously, we had the battle for the banner.
Yeah, we were saying that Coach Bradbury, Coach Light, and Coach Velez, they got to build some additions on their house. Those big banners that are going to be hanging.
Yeah.
And talk about well deserved. The Mass Attack is up for program of the year potentially.
Absolutely.
Done a great job all year round. The Flash had a comeback year. They've had multiple championships. Coach Light's 9th grade team, Coaches vs. Cancer, battled their first and last tournament. Taking home championships. And Mig's team, after a dominating, really storied the state tournament, got it done, and we'll be setting a banner out to Springfield.
One of the things I noticed, Steve, too, about the event was we have teams now coming from Rhode Island and Connecticut that are also making noise.
The Connecticut, the Playmakers last week, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to a finals version, CT Playmakers versus any Playmakers.
No question.
Young both programs, really strong on the younger teams.
Rhode Island Elite, Rhode Island Rivals also made a lot of noise this past weekend.
The Rhode Island Rivals team is very, you hear all about the Mass Rivals, the Hampshire Rivals. That Rhode Island team is pretty good.
On the boys and girls side.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, Steve, it was a great weekend, ton of events.
It kept getting bigger. The stakes rise each and every week. You go from what a crazy weekend was last weekend to Super 16 weekend and the Adidas Girls Junior Gauntlet, and then you get into girls finals, and then boys finals.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
Day and night. I toss and turn. I keep stressing my mind.
Steve, we're getting into our preview segment. Not as many tournaments as last weekend, but a lot of big tournaments.
Major events. It's Memorial Day weekend. If you're playing this weekend, you're playing for keeps.
We're going to start, Steve, with a really exciting event on the girls' side down at the House of Sports with Adidas.
We're really fortunate, really lucky to work with great people at Adidas. J.C. Hulls, Mike Barnett, and the entire girls grassroots organization have done a great job putting together this Junior Gauntlet Series. And by the way, is there a better site to do this than New York City Memorial Day weekend at the House of Sport?
Yep.
And it's awesome, the reaction. We had to shut this off about a month ago. All these great premier girls middle school teams, getting into this event. And the really cool thing, you win this weekend, you get to go down to Atlanta for the girls national championships. And how about this, Kevin? You win that tournament, you get to design your own sneakers.
Is that right?
There's no one that loves Adidas sneakers more than me. Just ask my wife. It's about a daily fight in the household how many pairs there are. And you get to design your own. So I might be putting together my own girls middle school team just to get that opportunity. What a great idea by Mike Barnett.
Yeah.
And it's great to see some New England teams coming down.
Yeah, I've heard
You get the NBA Roadrunners 8, you got Evolution, and Coach Della Barbara and what he's put together in the Thunder, they're coming down.
And he's used to traveling, right?
Yeah, that program is all over the place, and he's been rearing to go, bringing out the new sublimated uniform for this weekend.
Yep.
And it's great to have Adidas Corporate, J.C. Hall's coming down, taking the action, and
Awesome.
we're appreciative for Frank and the House of Sport for making this opportunity all come together.
So New York obviously is going to be great, and then we have another Junior League championship going on down in Maryland.
ZG Big Ten style. I always say ACC, and I've been corrected 5 times a week. At the University of Maryland, pretty cool for a
Right.
kid. I'm an 11-year-old kid entering, College Park, Maryland.
Yep.
Think of all the great players, Coach Gary Williams, all the
No
legends
question.
in Maryland, Grace Vasquez.
And what they're doing now, back to prominence, really.
What, number 1 in the country for a long
For a
time.
while last year.
Now all of a sudden you get to play on that campus? Are you kidding me?
No question.
Pretty special opportunity.
Another community, Steve, I think in our footprint too, that is getting a taste of ZG.
Yeah.
A couple times down in Maryland, similar to how we're
And
in
how about the
Philly.
amount of teams coming out from that area to finals? It's
Right.
really great. A couple more looking to punch their ticket this week.
No question. And so moving into Mass, Steve, we this weekend, really good cause that I know you like to talk about.
Yeah, benefiting the Wounded Warrior Foundation. It's great to do Coach vs. Cancer earlier now. I mean, is there a better fit than Memorial Day weekend taking care of our veterans? I mean, it just doesn't need to be said. All the hard work and everything they do to real celebrate what we have. We're so lucky. And we're fortunate when we can take part in things like this. We're always going to take that opportunity.
And I know, throughout the sites that we have in Mass, we'll have a donation basket at each site.
We're also going to have wristbands that 100% of the proceeds will go to the Wounded Warrior Foundation.
Tremendous.
They'll be available at Brandeis at the U.
And besides that, Steve, great tune-up for some of our teams getting into the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, there's girl teams. It's their final tune-up. The boys still have the Legacy Classic to get ready for finals, but it's a competitive field too for Memorial Day weekend. And then we get to Connecticut.
Connecticut, Steve, Super 16.
And we're both really lucky to get to be at Con College, where it is wall-to-wall college coaches.
Yep.
Some other people say, 5 years ago, got to go to Albany Memorial Day weekend. This is the biggest field. This is the best field.
Mm-hmm.
All the towns going to be Con College. A crazy field turned out for that. And what Adam Finkelstein and the New England Recruiting Report Network has done to put the best players on a spotlight Memorial Day weekend within our region is amazing. I never thought the event could take on a life of its own like it has. And I know we're both going to get to be at the main site, but there's going to be great middle school action in New Haven. And then look at the field. You'll see it come online tonight.
Doesn't get any better than that event.
No, and it's cool. We're going to be broadcasting some games from Con College with Huddle,
Yep.
which I can't wait.
Huddle's going to be there taking highlights, talking to teams about how they can, continue to make their players better. So all in all, you get Memorial Day, you get the weather changing, just a great weekend altogether.
Yeah, we'll have live coverage all weekend. I know a lot of people follow that tournament. Adam and his team do a great job covering these events. And
Steve,
Yeah,
for people looking to cover the event at NERR, you can't
at
have to be-
NER Hoops. If you don't follow at NER Hoops and at Adam Finkelstein, you're not a passionate, ravenous basketball fan.
Because the information that you get there, whether you're a coach or whether you're just a fan following the action, it's almost like you're
I
there.
mean, these players you're seeing this weekend, you'll be seeing it on ESPN as soon as next year.
Right.
It's loaded.
Can't wait for this weekend, Steve. Happy Memorial Day to everyone.